Assalamualaikum guys, welcome back to another story named Lost Fables and welcome back to my channel Story Time. Please ignore me for my sore throat because I'm not feeling well. Let's move to our story without wasting time. Here we go. A few dull clouds hovered in the distant sky. A young man named Arthur just crossed the border into the duchy. He had melly peppered stubble and his eyes had startling clarity as a mountain stream. As a knight of his majesty, he had put numerous monsters to the sword, with his deeds earning him the moniker. The blade, the latest deed spreading among the folks, was the fight with a hellhound. An old friend of his had sent for him, and hence he was rushing to the duchy. He came across a girl while walking through the forest who seemed to be in trouble but still strived to keep calm. Pity and love filled his heart. Thus he saved her and accompanied her back to the capital, for which the pretty girl appreciated deeply. She said that she had lost track of her teacher, a sorceress. Days later, they returned to the capital and exchanged farewells in front of the castle. It should come as no surprise that he had already found she was the princess, while he but a farmer knight. However, what he would never know was the princess named Alexia had been watching him out of sight from the castle. Alexia, the duke's sister, had rarely left the castle due to her weak body. Arthur soon retraced to the forest for the herb that Alexia and her teacher sought for, but he was informed that a dragon came and trampled houses as soon as he returned to the capital again. Breathing out the burning fire on anyone, it could see the dragon burned fields and houses of near towns. The duke had no choice but to lead. Many knights went to battle but ended up frustrated. And it was a red huge dragon, 50 feet in length, whose breath could burn a brave man to ashes. It was the very bane of a city. Many knights battled the fierce dragon under the duke's command, but their swords could not even hurt it through its scales. Unluckily, with his huge wings, the red dragon took no time in knocking many knights from their horses, and it breathed fire on the rest of them. It was the duke who took a toll on the dragon. The sorceress used a magic herb to enchant the duke's arrows, which then became unexpectedly destructive to the dragon. Unfortunately, the herb had been used up currently. Arthur decided to slay the dragon for the sake of his beloved girl. He hurried to the nearest destroyed town where his two friends would join soon, a veteran, coincidentally a sorceress. Aurora, a learned sorceress, had been working for the royal family of this duchess for a decade. It was her who sent for Arthur to slay the dragon as well as solve the problem of her dear student, as she was the sorceress of Alexia. 4 days later, Roland joined them with Arthur's sword and a crossbow. He was not only an experienced veteran, but a skilled blacksmith. Said Roland had killed a dragon on his own long time ago. The sword Roland made for Arthur was of the highest quality, made from steel that smelted from magnetite or looks glittering and translucent. Even the size and hilts are tailored to him. With detailed warfare situations Aurora soon planned out a campaign. They took a boat to the mysterious island where all other animals avoided for the dragon occupied it. According to the plan, Aurora summoned a sheep and bound it to a stick. If all went well, the dragon would be heavily hurt and then flew to eat it. Thus Roland hid in the forest to give a punch. They inspected the island and found the best place to ambush the dragon. Where Arthur and Aurora would have waited, Arthur's arrows were enchanted, which suited perfectly with the magic crossbow. At high noon, the dragon appeared in this cloud. Aurora was surprised that it looked much smaller and weaker than before, as the magic herb restrained its power again. The dragon's melting breath formed fireballs around his body while Aurora had finished reciting her last incantation. Countless blue magic balls began to strike the dragon fiercely. Simultaneously, Arthur, with his crossbow and the magic arrows in his hands, shot arrows one by one directed at the dragon. The scales were cut and its eyes were hurt. It had to flee with broken wings. As expected, it came to where Roland waited. Roland, who was a combat-seasoned veteran, had been at full clock and attacked it from in flank. What a thrilling fight at close quarters! However, Roland had become wounded while the dragon was also about to fail. At the very time the other two arrived to join Roland, it's Arthur who finally delivered fatal blows with his sword. The dragon's melting breath formed fireballs around his body. While Aurora had finished reciting her last incantation, countless blue magic balls began to strike the dragon fiercely. Years ago, many men aiming at claiming credit for healing Alexia came to slay it and gain the precious blood. But meanwhile, the newborn egg of it was destroyed. It had been revenging her dead baby. Now the egg of that dragon was completely finished. Arthur couldn't wait to see his beloved girl again, which finally came true as Aurora. Alexia's dear teacher led the way, sure enough she wouldn't refuse our hero's proposal, let alone she loved him. After the dragon's death, Aurora has sufficient materials to launch her new research. Arthur saw the veteran off and lived with Alexia happily ever after. This was the happy ending of our story. And this was all about my today's video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to like my channel, subscribe, and comment down below kindly. And then take care. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.